everyone. Madman bringing another RSL video. So today we're going to do floors 1 through 9 and take on the Magma Dragon floor 10 on the first rotation of Doom Tower Hard. Let's begin. For clearing the regular floors, we used our HP Burn CC Comp team, starting with physics and speed, resilience, and perception sets. 52,000 plus HP, 4,200 plus defense, 222 speed, 358 accuracy. She's got a fully booked A1, a chance of decreasing the target's turn meter and filling hers by the amount is lost. Fully booked A2, decreases speed and 50% ally protection on all allies except this one for 2 turns. And booked A3, which places a provoke for 1 turn and a shield buff, 20% of her max HP by 2 turns. And then she's got a decent aura, but it's for faction crypts. Her masteries, defensive tree, got some counterattack, and then support tree down to Eagle Eye to give us more accuracy. So that is physics, Yoshi, resilience, speed, and perception sets. 63,000 HP, almost 2,400 attack, a little over 2,300 defense, 260 speed, 357 accuracy. Booked on his A1, a chance of placing stun. Fully booked on his A2, chance of decreasing accuracy and HP burn, booked 100%. That's going to be main damage there. Fully booked A3, place increased attack and increased accuracy buff on all allies, but also a 75% chance of placing True Fear on all the enemies, and can go up to 100% if they're under an increased attack buff. Also got another passive, fills turn meter by 4% each time an enemy receives a buff, and he has a reasonable speed aura in all battles by 19%. He used to be in a stun set, so that's why we had chose Fearsome Presence and came down the defensive tree, and then the support tree for some accuracy, as well as a chance to extend buffs. So that is Yoshi, our DPS for the most part. Syl, we have in Relentless and Perception. Almost 65,000 HP, almost 3,000 attack, 200 speed. Reasonable resistance, reasonable accuracy. Normally used with Drexar, gets that plus 70 accuracy. That jumps her up pretty good there. She has decreased speed, A1, fully booked. Chance to stun, fully booked, A2. Revive with ally protection, fully booked, A3. And passive, 10% heal plus a increased speed. Her masteries came down the defensive tree to get as much as resistance as possible, and a support tree to get some HP and extend stun buffs potentially. And that is Syl. Sylar is our speed booster here and turn meter control. She's in stun set and speed set with 46,000 plus HP, almost 2,100 attack, a little over 2,200 defense, 270 speed, and 313 accuracy. Her skills, not booked, but an AoE. That's why the stun set. Partially booked, decreased accuracy, don't care too much, but AoE, again, while we're in the stun set. And then why do we use her? 30% decreased speed buff on all enemies for 2 turns, and decreases their turn meter by 40%. That allows us to be 200 and still go beforehand. Decent little speed aura, but again, for faction crypts, not applicable here. Went with some resistance, some counterattack, and of course Fears and Presence, because she is in stun set, and then some accuracy, just to land some of her other skills. So that is our Sylar, our turn meter specialist. Lastly, it's Bellower, speed set, stun set, because he's all AoEs. His stats, almost 50,000 HP, 1,700 attack, almost 2,000 defense, 203 speed, 292 accuracy. He has an AoE on his A1, block active skills, fully booked comes in handy. AoE on the A2, decreased speed, fully booked, that comes in handy. AoE, A3, decreased attack, decreased defense, fully booked, that comes in handy. And a speed aura and faction crypts. Again, he's in sunset, so we give him a little extra defense and fearsome presence again, as well as accuracy down the support tree. And there you go. Those are the 5 champs for clearing the floors. Alright, for Magma Dragon, we started with Lydia here, double speed set and perception set. 59,000 HP, 1,600 attack, 3,500 defense, 259 speed, 345 accuracy. You can give her crit rate and crit damage. She can hit fairly hard. I just don't want to proc retribution hits in arena, so I want her to land her decreased defense and weaken without proccing those. So fully booked A2, decreased defense and weaken, also a strength and an increase buff on allies, chance to fear, and place poison sensitivity, then a bunch of passive effects on her A1. Attacks 2 times, chance to place poison sensitivity, and also block buffs and block active skills for 2 turns on her A3 that can come in handy. And her passive denies enemy revive attempts. Comes in handy as well. It's a beautiful thing to see when they go to revive and you have dead allies and oh, they picked up your allies instead of their own. But anyway, her masteries, we just came down to give a little resistance here, but the defensive tree and the support tree here to get much more accuracy and extend the buffs or debuffs, since she does both. So that's Lydia, Warchief, perception set, and then broken pieces, not even fully rolled up and stuff. 62,000 HP, 2,700 attack, 240 speed, 289 accuracy. Probably need to work on that some, but his skills, not booked, 3 times chance to place a provoke, attacks 1 enemy, place a provoke, debuff for 3 turns. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, so there you go. And can steal 2 random buffs, and then passive, reflect damage. So we're just using his passive, letting him provoke the Magma Dragon. As you can see, haven't even really run his masteries. A little bit of accuracy there, and defense. I probably ought to do that at some point. But that is Warchief. Godseeker Neri, Relentless and Resilient set, 50,000 HP, 4,500 defense, 212 speed. Don't really care about resistance or accuracy, crit rate, or anything like that, even though she can do damage. So if you want to build her that way, that's fine. For me, heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5% on her A1. And a little extra there, so it's booked. She's a reader. Attacks all enemies, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP, and then decreases the duration of all buffs on the enemy by 1 turn, and increases all buffs on allies by 1 turn. On a 3-turn cooldown, fully booked. That's why she's very handy in Clan Boss, plus you can then build her to really hit then. And then revives a dead ally with 50% turn meter and 50% HP on a 4-turn cooldown. Again, that is booked as well. And then a passive increases the amount of healing, and an active effect. If they're about to go down, we'll put a revive on depth form. That takes books as well to get to a 4-turn cooldown. Her masteries, we came down the defensive tree since she's defensive based, get as much defense as possible, get some health here, spirit haste here to help revive, move her turn meter, speed her up, get around to reviving anybody that goes down. So that is Godseeker and Neri. Melga is in perception, speed, and broken pieces. 66,000 HP, 2,500 defense, 222 speed, 335 resistance. Unfortunately, I've built her and stripped her so many times that she was at around 4,000, which was great. 400, my apologies. Mostly booked A1, chance of removing a debuff, don't care, hits like a wet noodle. Places a shield, 20% of this champion's max HP, so you want high HP. Also places a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns. This is fully booked, so it's on a 3-turn cooldown, comes in handy. That's why we're bringing her in there. And then revives 2 random allies with 20% HP and 20% turn meter, and places a shield on the revived allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP, and that is fully booked. It's on a 5-turn cooldown. That's the other reason we brought her in there. And then the last reason, it's small, but 15% HP increase, all allies in all battles. That's why she's in the lead. Defensive tree and support tree down to timely intervention, trying to get her move fast enough that if she needs to revive anybody as well or put on those shields, she can. That is Melga. Lastly, we got Varesk and Immortal, and then broken pieces, but 89, almost 90,000 HP, 1,600 plus attack we don't care about, 1,787 defense, that's pretty low, 189 speed's pretty low, but 100% crit rate, and that's one of the things we really care about. Not booked A1, don't care about, it does fill the turn meter if attack's critical, that comes in handy. Attacks 1 enemy, hits like a wet noodle, but the passive heals by 10% whenever he crits. So as long as he's critting, healing by 10%, want as high HP as possible. Defense in dungeons is helpful in dungeons. Not here, but again, giving them quite a bit of resistance as possible, and HP and spirit haste, so we can get around and keep adding those heals up. And that is Varesk. And those are your 5 champions used for Doom Tower Hard against floor 10 Magma Dragon. Have a nice day.